welcome. This is REITVShow.com. I am your host, John Zor. And today, my friends, we are continuing on getting tons and tons of content down here in Atlanta, Georgia at the 2009 Foreclosure Summit. And I had the pleasure of meeting my very special guest today, Michael Keefe, from the Atlanta area. And we actually sort of pre-met on Twitter. And
we just didn't know.
Yeah, we just didn't know. And I actually put out a message saying that we were hanging out with Mr. L, who was an actual loss mitigator, who spoke at the event. And he sent out a message, me too. I'm like, wait, I didn't see you over here. So I sent him back a message, and we ended up, Michael spoke this morning on tax liens and deeds. And my acquisitions coordinator, George, sat in on the presentation, and he said he held you hostage after the meeting for like a half hour. He's like, I got all the information from this guy. So I've never, really done tax liens or tax deeds or anything like that. So, Michael, thank you so much for coming to the show.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. Would you tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Michael Keefe, and I've been investing in tax deeds and tax liens for the last 12 years, mainly in Georgia and the adjacent states. Over that period of time, we've done close to 900 transactions, totaling around $24 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So
stay pretty busy.
So and this is all real estate liens, tax liens,
all tax
on
liens
real estate
and tax deeds. In Georgia, it's mostly tax deeds. Georgia's a deed state.
Okay.
The adjacent states in Tennessee.
Like Jersey is a lien state.
Correct. They're liens or certificates, which, although not technically the same, they're generally the same.
Okay.
And so, during that course of time, we've bought a lot of property, and we ended up owning several, tens of several, and currently have a little over 130 properties that we own and manage. Some of which
through buying the tax liens.
Most of them are as a result of tax liens and tax deeds. Some of them we're at buying REOs too.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. For the tax liens or tax deeds, depending on where you're at, what's a typical scenario? Like, how do you find a typical tax lien that you're going to buy?
All right. Well, in Georgia, we buy deeds, and the way it works is just like foreclosures, they're advertised.
Okay.
In the public, the legal organ of the county in Georgia, where the property is located, and all the tax sales in Georgia take place at one time, first Tuesday of the month, simultaneously with the foreclosure sales.
Okay.
Each county puts an ad out. Some actually will provide a list that's a little easier to use. And, it's pretty simple. We get the list, we get the ads, go through, screen the property, see which ones fit.
That was my next question. What are you looking for?
And that's, each individual is going to have his or her scope, if you will.
Okay.
In my case, my company, we buy, we're pretty much across the board. We've bought gas stations at tax sales, we bought land at tax sales, we bought shopping centers. And we bought, obviously lots of single-family homes, because that's the bulk of what you see coming to a tax sale.
But other than, say, okay, I want to be in a certain area, or I want to buy a certain type of property, is there anything as far as, the actual lien or deed, depending on where you're at, that you actually would like to, that you see and you're like, yeah, we got to scoop that one up, or no, we got to stay away from that one, or anything like that?
I know some people target more finely than we do, but personally, each property, each deed pretty much stands on its own. If it makes sense, it makes sense. And, we're buying property at typically a pretty deep discount.
Okay.
So if we end up owning it down the road, we have pretty good upside. Typically, you don't own a lot of tax deed properties that you purchase. You do get paid off.
Okay.
And in Georgia, you get paid the purchase price that you pay at the tax sale plus 20%.
Wow. Okay.
In the first year.
So basically, what happens is